So Chainlink has been on a massive rip recently. We have seen some fantastic growth. We have seen the price come up. We're looking towards that $20 level for the price action of Chainlink. We are finding support here on some levels and some timeframes for Chainlink. What is likely to happen next? Where is this price action going? Chainlink looks unstoppable. We're going to cover off everything today, but first of all, let's run that intro. Welcome back to Cheeky Crypto Uncensored. We're here to talk about Chainlink. We'll start off here on the 4-hour time frame. You know, we have seen Chainlink get a little bit boring recently, obviously after these fantastic pumps to the upside. So what is going on most recently with this price action? Are we still targeting out moves to the upside? Well, of course we are. Looking at $17.63 to as high as $19.44 here on the 4-hour time frame for Chainlink. The structures as they play out, I do see this as the fifth wave of this entire structure. Now, of course, we will need to see that price break the high we set over here of $16.60, where of course we can see the price is starting to push on up to test these levels here on the 4-hour time frame. Smart money concepts will of course telling us we do have a weak high, and of course we do have a strong low on the charts for Link, the 4-hour time frame. But crucially, what we can see here on the 4-hour time frame is the test of the 50 EMA in red, the 50 SMA in green. We have seen this being the interesting area here for Chainlink as we come across the times as it has, you know, progressed here. Finding support here multiple times. We did lose it slightly a couple of times, but regaining support here. Once again, we are coming back down on this 4-hour time frame, testing it for support. The 200 EMA has not been a factor for quite some time. We are trading very high above the 200 EMA, which is fantastic. This is bullish sign. The 50 EMA, the 50 SMA above that 200 EMA, the price action sitting above equilibrium as we can see on the charts here. All signs are pointing to a very bullish future progression to the upside to continue for Chainlink. Now, when we feast our eyes down towards the stochastic RSI's positioning, the 1-hour and the 8-hour in the oversold position. When we look at the graph here, we can see there's plenty movement to the upside here for Chainlink on the 4-hour time frame. So in essence, guys, all eyes are pointing to continuation to the upside for Chainlink, where we are looking towards that $17 to a possible $19 target. Structure wise, it's not the best of structures we can see playing out here. Crucially, smart money concept has gave us that break of structure, telling us that the motion is still to the upside. So we have seen that break of structure, price moving higher than the previous high on the charts. And as we know, guys, we tend to see this price come down to test out the previous area where we see a high amount of volume. Now, I think we could see this one drop down to test out equilibrium, but I do not see that as a requirement. I do think we have seen enough of a drop to the downside that next move is to the upside, and we will obviously look to progress to the upper levels here of $17.63.3 and $19.44.3 on this Binance 4-hour time frame for Link. Now, everything's fantastic here. It's great to see such price appreciation for Chainlink. I know there's so many members down in their Discord, which of course is linked in the description down below, completely free to join. There's so many members of our Discord have made a vast amount of profits here. Whether or not they have taken profits just yet, you know, let us know in the comments down below if you have taken profits on Chainlink. I think there's still so much more to the upside here. The position that I have there, I'm not selling. You guys know that I won't just jump in and out of the market. I will be holding this for the entirety of the bull run. So when we actually start to look at the structures that are playing out, we will bring ourselves over here to the 1-day time frame, where we can see the move that has played out on this run to the upside, this impulsive 5-wave move. So we are still bullish on the daily time frame. Obviously, we had our change of character here on the 21st of October 2023. Now from here, we have stayed in this bullish sentiment. The move down in the wave 4 was quite underwhelming, as we can see. We would have been targeting out $10.96.1 to as low as $9.64.2. Now, as one of the conversations that we had with our members down in Discord earlier today, we were speaking about the requirements, the levels that we tend to see hit here for wave 4 structures. Now, under Elliott wave theory, your wave 2, your wave 4, your B waves, your X waves, these are corrective waves and they are very unpredictable. So when we or when I tend to put a chart together, I will use target areas and I will use typical retracement areas. So when we look at this chart here, we can see we have a target area for the fifth wave, and we have a typical area for the fourth wave, as this fourth wave is a very corrective wave, as is the wave 2. Now, another interesting thing I want to make you, kind of aware of here, when you see quite a complex wave 2, you tend to see a very simple wave 4. Vice versa, if you see a very simple wave 2, you will tend to see a very complex, complicated, hard to read wave 4. This is quite typical to happen on these impulsive structures. So I think we have fairly basic wave 2, so a fairly difficult to read wave 4, and I do think that is the case. The structure is not fantastic in there, but nevertheless, the minimum expectation would of course be hitting that 0.236 level. That comes here at, if we could actually grab this one on the screen, 12.845. We have seen that price come down to hit here, and we have bounced from this level, giving us the indication that that move to 17.63 to 19.44 is the move that is in play here for Chainlink on this daily chart. Now, of course, we can see a weak high via smart money concepts. We can see a strong low trading well above equilibrium, and of course, that 50 EMA, the 50 SMA trading higher than the 200 EMA. All signs here are bullish, incredibly bullish for Chainlink. Now, another thing I do want to bring up on the charts, we do our what they're called, our TA sessions down in Discord for our members. I will actually be doing one tomorrow, so if you're a member, head on down to Discord and check that out. We do live TA with our members down there. We covered previously, we were looking at an area of high volatility for Chainlink, and we were expecting a break from here, and of course we have seen this happen. You will see this highlighted on the charts right here. We have on our BBWP on this lower graph an area of extremely high volatility, 100 percentile volatility in fact for Link. Now, that ranging area is from the 21st of October all the way over to the 29th of October. We had 9 days of 100 percentile volatility, and we marked our range up on here. So what we can see on the chart, our test of this upper area, we came down. Once we retested this area, we've seen this explosive move to the upside. This is typical of high volatility in the markets, and it's fantastic to see another aspect of how we look at the charts coming to fruition for Chainlink here. So typically, obviously, we will look via smart money concepts, we will look through Elliott wave theory, but adding the likes of your Bollinger Bands with percentile onto the charts, adding on your cheeky trading cipher onto the charts, showing all these different ways of looking at the charts stacking up here, it's fantastic to see. So just another metric added onto the charts here. We could predict that explosive move to the upside on that retest of the upper price level of $11.80, that explosive run to the upside. If we had managed to jump in on that trade, this is not a chart I look at all too often, it would have been a fantastic 40% run to the upside. Wow. Now we have seen that retrace down to the 0.236. I do think, that next stop off is $17 to $19 here on the daily time frame for Chainlink. Now, lastly, of course, we will have a look at the weekly chart. Have a look what's happened to the bear market. Is the bottom in? Of course the bottom is in for Chainlink. I do think we can all agree on that one. But where are we likely to go next? What is actually going on the time frame here, the weekly time frame for Chainlink? Let's dive into this one. So of course that bear market move was the WXY, X and Z structure, bringing us down into this previous area of support turn resistance for Chainlink. Now, why is this one so important to mark out? Well, we can see this previous area of resistance turns still resistance turns support for Chainlink, and then in this bear market we came down here on the 5th of January, testing this out and finding it as support. We have bounced from here. We know we have that impulsive move to the upside going on here for Chainlink, this wave 1, 2, wave 3, 4 and 5 move. So this tells us that we are done for the lows for Chainlink. Now we know our minimum expectation is at least going to be an A, B and C structure, followed on by whatever comes next. That is the minimum expectation. This could obviously grow some legs, and this could just be a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, 4 and 5. And once again, as you will all know, if we have that kind of structure playing out, we will then have to see a corrective move, followed on by a minimum of another 5-wave structure for Chainlink, giving us the idea that we could be seeing some absolutely monumental gains in the future for Link. But we won't run just yet, guys. Let's actually look at what's going on here. So we know on this weekly chart, we have this 5-wave structure playing out, still in that wave 3, 4 and 5 to come. Interestingly, we can see what I have done on the charts here, I have taken the 100% move of that previous bull market. Let's just mark this one up. I have brought it over to our low here in the bear market, and I have marked off all the necessary fib levels I feel we need to be looking at, from the 0.236 all the way up to the 1.236 here for link. Now let's go through these one by one and see what's really interesting. So first of all, we have the 0.236 fib, this coming at $15.56.1. Now if we zoom into this one, we can see the current price action is coming up to test this, finding it as resistance, which is typical to see. This is the first test of the Fibonacci levels. This is not a problem. Our next stop off is of course going to be up here at $32.37.9. Now this is another very interesting Fibonacci level. When we come over to the previous price action for Chainlink, let's just bring this one all the way over here, we can see yet again another previous area of technical support and resistance. This is not a clean area, but it's an area nonetheless that we have found some form of resistance, some form of support here previously. So we are not far away from testing out that $32 level in my opinion. And as we go through all of these Fibonacci levels, the next one will be that 0.5 fib at $58.54. We can see this one sitting just above the previous all-time high for Chainlink, which of course came at $53. So that retest up here at $58, give or take a few dollars, we are going to retest that previous all-time high. Yeah, it's fantastic to see. We can start to see how these Fibonacci levels will start to play out on this run to the upside. We'll go over the rest of them just to give some targets, some price targets of these levels. The 0.618 fib, which I think will be a crucially important fib to test out. The psychology behind the 0.618 is immense. So a test of $105 I think is perfectly plausible, but a test of this level is going to be incredibly important to see how Chainlink reacts to this one. Next up is the 702 fib level at $161, the 786 fib level, which will be very important if we see the price come up to here once again, of $245, the 882 fib at $398. And then lastly, we do have that 1-to-1 to the 1.236. Now the 1-to-1 fib level coming at $719.86, and the 1.236 fib level coming at $2,353.06. Absolutely insane levels if we were really to zoom out to look at how this would go. But given the moves that the previous bull market did play out for Chainlink, the hype that's circulating around Chainlink just now, I would like to know each and every one of you watching this video today, what is your target for Chainlink? We have a vast amount of targets sitting right here. Please tell me what your target is for this bull run for Chainlink. Personally, I do think we will see that 618 fib level tested of $105. I don't think that will be much of an effort at all. When we look at the structure that is playing out, we know this is a 5-wave move. Let's just get a blank canvas here, guys. When we do see these 5-wave moves, if you're not familiar with elite wave theory, we will then tend to see a 50 to 80% retracement. This 50 to 80% retracement will typically be between the 50 to 80% of that initial push to the upside, and from here we will then look for another 5-wave move. This will tend to be the 1-to-1 to the 1.236 of that initial move to the downside. So if we have this playing out, we can see we will be testing up to this upper level. So when we come back down to this move that is playing out, we know that we were looking for a typical retracement down to, we're just drawing this off roughly, guys, this is not fact or fiction. Well, it's fiction, it's not fact here. We are then looking for that next move to the upside, where we could see that 0.5 fib level tested. How coincidental, $58.54. Now we have to note that, you know, that's not just this, the only part of this move. We could see this one as this A, B and C structure. This one could overextend. We could then look at this as a 1, 2, a wave 3, 4 and 5, and be familiar with that, because if you have 5 waves you have to end in 5 waves. We could then see this one come down in a nice corrective pattern and bounce back to the upside once again. So the end point here for Chainlink is going to be incredibly hard to predict. Obviously we're so early into this move to the upside, but what we can see on the charts here is the development of this run to the upside is absolutely fantastic. I do think Chainlink has a fantastic future ahead of it. The opportunities to make life-changing amounts of money. Yeah, this is going to be phenomenal on this run to the upside. But guys, I really do want to know what your targets are for Chainlink for this bull run. Where are you looking to take profits, and how high do you think it can go? I will of course leave a video there for today. If you have enjoyed it, please do leave us a like, subscribe, tap on the bell, all the usual good stuff, guys. I do hope you've enjoyed it. If you're going to trade, please do trade safely. Have a nice tight stop loss, make some great gains, stay safe in the space, and until next time, have a very nice day.